Hi. Okay, I'm gonna start with the other image. Here we go. Hi, good afternoon. This afternoon I'm going to be talking about how I managed to do the periwinkle, otherwise known as alikrik in Afrikaans. Hope you enjoy this video. One of the many challenges I had in doing the periwinkle was choosing the size of the canvas. I needed to opt for a bigger size than what was required by the commissioner, as it was more square than it was a rectangle. In this segment you'll see that I'm drawing and I'm painting, and I have left the canvas down so that I can work on both sides. You see how I have switched around, just so I can get a full view of how periwinkles can work. In a drawing exercise I actually did a lot of tubes and cylinders in order to get the shapes of the shells correct. In this part it's also very general painting, it's not very fine-tuned. You'll see that I took a break there and now we've moved on to an evening slot of work where it's just slapping color down, it's getting the general shape. A lot of your textures can be developed in this. I'll be speaking about more detail later in the video because everybody is so curious to see how I do my detail, and it takes sometimes days to get it correct. The other challenge I had was to use black and red, are both not opaque but they're translucent colors, so you lose quite a lot of depth because you're making layers with the black, and black is transparent, so you've got to layer that up to make it a color. I just find if you had to use black in a solid color that your paintings become a lot flatter, so I've opted for trying to do layers above colors in order to create more visual interest in my paintings. And as for red, it goes really well above the pink and the textures that I had used. It just makes a more vibrant orange, and it makes a more vibrant pink, and it overall collided all those colors into what the shell really looks like. And here we go, here's day 2. As you can see, I put down my sketch just to get back onto track, feeling fresh, starting to do a bit more detail in the surrounding shells. As you'll see in my next segment, I actually comment on my composition. Overall, I actually went to class to actually get more of the composition correct. I draw inspiration from Henry Matisse's snail, as he uses paper to make a spiral and overall create that overall look that you just keep looking at it to get it right. But you'll just hear now with the bowl itself lacked a lot of depth. Yeah, not right. Okay, so what I've discovered in this part of the segment of it is, even doing the upside down work, is that these shells take up a lot more spaces in between the, because they look like, I thought last night that they were a little bit small, and smaller and smaller. I think I've done this part right in the sense that it is what it is. And I've seen the extra spaces around in the circle that still need to be filled. Because I initially thought that this area was extremely bland, but I felt that it was a very full picture. So I'm glad that I've now extended these parts. This isn't the shell, this is where the shadow is, this is going to be where the shell is. Because this band was just too wide for me to comprehend with the shading and things like that, because I'm going to sign my name here, and I was like, there is just such a emptiness in this corner, so I'm just going to bring that down, and hopefully you enjoy it. Cool. As that goes, I hope that all made sense, and as you see, I'm just continuing with what I told you I was going to be doing and touching up parts that were still drying and wet in between. So that's also another thing. While one area of your painting dries, then you can just work on another. At the moment I'm pushing in all those oranges and reds. I propped up my canvas so that I could pick a side of the visual part of the painting. So you'll now soon see all the detail parts and where I have zoomed in the same. Here I am doing the next part of the detail. As you can see, it's a lot of redefining the properties of that shell. A lot of give and take of the white and the darkness. I managed to get a burnt umber. It just flashed in front of the screen there, and as you can see, I'm pushing in the brown colors in order to go black straight above it, and there's a bit of a wash I did in there. Yeah, a lot of the textures are wash and detail that come through. Playing with a bit of whites and creating the contrast that you would like, and then doing a wash straight above it is very effective in the little cloudy parts I found in the center of the periwinkle. The detail you'll see, as much as I love just splashing paint around on my canvas, it really comes down to the detail and how much you want to put in there. One of my teachers actually said, you will keep putting detail in as long as you're not bored with a painting. And I love putting in detail. I love figuring out all the little coral and the things and the anatomy of what makes this thing work, where you can see a shiny surface, a bubbly surface. I can just get lost in looking at it, and that's what also makes a great painting, is when you can just keep looking and keep going at it. It's actually hard to even put down at the end of the day. But ultimately you need to just get into that zone and climb in and do it. As you can see, this is already day 4 of detail, and it didn't look like I did much on one side of my painting, but it actually pays off to do it slow. You kind of need to be in a tired mindset where you don't get up from your canvas, you don't get up from your work, you just sit there and you push through and you work as hard as you can on all those details, because it starts coming alive, and that's where that excitement comes in when you do your detail. I think also in this process I was so surprised not to see more sand, but I saw lots of droplets and things like that, which you'll see in the end, which I didn't put into the video as such because I just really wanted to focus into it. It was a lot of late nights where the lighting wasn't correct for the filming, but I hope you enjoy the small amount of detail that you see here. Just you can see I'm retouching a heck of a lot of things and going back to it, and that's also a perfectionist kind of mindset in getting your detail absolutely correct in the right proportions and the right tonal value with those gradients that need to come in with the sides of the periwinkle. Good afternoon. I am getting ready, and this is how far I got with the painting. with the shells. I just wanted to give you a brief update on how this looks and how it came to be. I managed to work a bit more on the actual bowl structure, which actually set the shells into place a lot faster than the detail that I was pushing for in each individual shell. I hope that you can see a difference, and I hope you enjoy your day further, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and allow other people to like and subscribe as well. Bye!